If you're looking to get into automotive photography, I highly recommend you watch this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you how you can get your portfolio built faster, get your work noticed, and start landing paid clients sooner. If you don't know who I am, my name is Joe Granitto. I have been an automotive photographer for almost 7 years, and in the last 11 months, I have grown my social media audience from 390 followers to over 145,000 followers. These last 11 months have allowed me to get more one-on-one photo shoots with clients, paid opportunities, and free entry to local events that I have never been able to have before. So I will be sharing you the techniques that I recommend to every single person that is getting started for the first time in automotive photography in order to get yourself to a larger portfolio and allow you to be able to market yourself to potential paid clients. By the end of this video, you'll hopefully be armed with enough information to go out and get started. Starting off, first and foremost, the equipment that you need does not matter with automotive photography or any photography for that matter. If you simply have a smartphone, that is more than enough to get started. However, if you do have an actual camera like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, use it. Starting off with taking photos of cars, my first recommendation is using your own car. Now, if you have a car that's photogenic or it's a pretty cool car and people admire it, it's a very easy car to go out and take photos of and feel good about it. I was fortunate enough to be able to have my FRS, even though it was bone stock at the time. Every time I would go for a drive, I would take my camera with me and I would take pictures of it in local parking lots and just about anywhere where I thought it was interesting. All of that practice has also allowed me to do it in my own free time. I didn't have to coordinate with anybody. I didn't have to convince anybody to let me take pictures of their car. I was able to just go out on my own and mess up all on my own. Now, if you don't have a photogenic car or you just feel like nobody wants to take pictures of my Chevy Cobalt, you can always ask your friends and family if they have cars of their own. When you go and ask your friends or family for the ability to shoot their car, just offer to do it for free in exchange of some really cool photos. Also explain to them that this is going to be helping you build a portfolio in something that you now have an interest in. And more than likely, they'll be willing to help you. I've done this plenty of times with my parents' cars. I've done it with my brother's car. I've done it with my friends' cars over and over and over again. I've gotten a lot of practice shooting other people's cars just within my own friends and family network. Now, if you live in a large metropolitan city like I do, you can also look at local community events, whether they're paid or they're free. My local community in Indianapolis hosts Cars and Coffee. These events happen about every other week throughout the entire summer, and hundreds of cars show up to every single one of these events, sometimes thousands. There's a big number of different cars that you can get, from classics to exotics to daily driven cars to machines that you probably never have seen before. Go to those events and take pictures of cars and just walk around and find people who own these cars and have a conversation with them. When you have conversations with people at these local events, I recommend letting them know that you are an inspiring automotive photographer and you're looking to build your portfolio. You can show them any of the work that you may already have through shooting your own car or shooting your friends and family's cars, and let them know that you would love to take pictures of their car one-on-one. Now, at this point, you do one way or another. You can go the free route like you would have done with your friends and family, or you can go the paid route. I recommend, if your portfolio is not very large, to go the free route, simply because if you don't have a portfolio that you can leverage, and when it comes to negotiating price, it's going to be that much harder for you to land a client. Now, if you have built a portfolio and it's a little bit of a smaller portfolio, I recommend pricing it out to what you think it's going to be worth for your photo shoot. It will probably be lower than what other people charge, but over time, you should be increasing that price up to what the current market rate is, or whatever you think is best for your photo shoots. Now, if you're not sure how to get into local community events and you don't know where to start, my recommendation is start with Facebook. Facebook events is a really good platform to find local events. If you just type in car show, or if you type in cars and coffee, you can probably find a few in your local area. If you don't live in a metropolitan area, but you don't live far from one, it probably would be worth a drive to go check it out. Once you're at car events though, and you are networking with other people and you're networking with other photographers and car owners, you're going to be finding more and more opportunities to go. Maybe events that aren't on an event page like Facebook, maybe they're not posted anywhere, they're just local small community groups. This has definitely been something that has been eye-opening to myself, because now I feel like I'm getting people sending me messages all the time saying, hey, did you hear about this event? Did you hear about this event? It's like, no, I've been a car enthusiast for years, like way longer than I've been a photographer, and I never knew how many events actually existed in my area. Now, once you've built up this portfolio and you've leveraged it to get yourself a either free or paid client, what you want to do is you want to talk to them directly. And the way that you want to talk to people is you want to try and get to know them more. Because 9 times out of 10, if you get to know somebody better, you make that connection, you're gonna start creating your own inner network. The best approach that I've had to this is find some common ground. This is a business tactic that I've used in the past, and it's a very common tactic to find a similar interest to the person that you're trying to sell. And this person is going to be somebody that you've already got a photo shoot set up with. Now you just got to get to know the person. And more than likely, if you're shooting cars, you're also a car enthusiast. And if they're also a car enthusiast and they like to talk about cars, talk to them about their car. People love to talk about themselves and they love to talk about their cars. It is going to be a very easy conversation for you to have. Learn about what the car is. Learn about the story behind them getting that car. Learn why they love cars. Find out everything you can about this person, and also share some of your own self. Like, why do you love cars? Why do you love your car? Maybe you don't have the car that you want to have. Maybe you want to buy a very specific car. And just start talking to them and get the ball rolling, because then they'll feel so much more comfortable working with you. And it'll be so much more personalized of an experience. What this is going to do is going to help them refer you to other people. It could be their friends, it could be their families, it could be a business. You never know what it is that you're going to run into. The other thing I want to talk about too is documenting your process. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I do a POV video of all my photo shoots, and I share that to Instagram. I post twice a day, every single day, 1 reel, 1 photo carousel. And because of that, I have exploded into a much larger audience, and more people have discovered me through my social media. And that is how I've been able to get organically people coming to me asking for photos of their cars. The best way that you can document your process is using whatever it is that you have. If you are using a DSLR or mirrorless camera to take your photos, you can pull out your phone and you can hold it to your chest, or you can get a chest mount and you can hit record and just record your entire process. Or if you have a friend that's with you, ask them to get some footage of you on your phone so that way you can go post it to social media. Either way, documenting your process is what people love. It does not matter how fancy it is. You don't need to have these special edits. People love to watch growth and progression. And if you are just now starting off as a photographer, you have an unfair advantage to someone like me. I've been a photographer for almost 7 years, but I didn't start documenting my process until a year ago. So you have a way better advantage than I did, because when you start off, your photos are probably not going to be where you want them to be. And then as you document your process and you get better and better, whoever's been following along your journey is going to see that progression, and they're going to just admire how much you've grown. And you know, people are going to start discovering you, and they're going to be like, holy crap, this person is great at these photos. I want to hire them. That sounds anecdotal, but it has truly happened to me. I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, I've watched your stuff for a while and I want to work with you. If you show your progress and you're authentic, you're genuine, and you have these conversations with these people, more and more people are just going to gravitate towards you. Now, once you get to the point where your portfolio has been built up over time, I would say about 3 to 6 months is a good point where you can start reevaluating your paid shoots. You can say, hey, like, I'm going to increase my price. Maybe I want to bump it up by 50%. But if you have a constant flow of people coming to you asking for photos, and you've built up for 3 to 6 months, then you can start expanding that, and you can start offering more services if you want to, or you can just charge a higher premium if you want to. You also have the ability to leverage your audience and your portfolio to do brand deals. There's one brand deal that I've done recently, and it's the only one I've ever done that I have thoroughly enjoyed, and it's actually gotten me certain stuff like free equipment. I've also gotten paid to do video promotion. There are opportunities like that that exist out there, and more every single day, companies are looking for small-time creators to promote their products. If there is a brand that you want to work with, and maybe it's a camera brand, a lens brand, a filter brand, whomever, you can leverage your portfolio, your audience, to get deals like that. If you don't want to do big brand deals with corporations, but you want to work with local businesses, you can go into local car dealerships. Maybe they're a mom and pop owned dealership. You can show them your portfolio and offer your services to them and have them as a retainer client. A retainer client is just simply someone who pays you month over month for your services, and you have a set agreement of how often you show up and you provide those services. All this comes together from starting at what you have. If you have a phone, take pictures with your phone. Most cell phones nowadays take really good photos, especially if you're just posting to social media. Get practice in composition and your editing. Those are the two biggest things that make or break your photos. The equipment is just simply a tool. Once you're able to upgrade to a camera, feel free to do so, but do so within your budget. My recommendation is don't buy a camera that you can't buy twice. That is a piece of advice I've heard before in the past, and it has really sat with me. So when I actually upgraded to this camera, I made sure that I could buy it twice, just in case it were to break. As you're progressing and you're taking these photos and you're getting in the groove of things, you'll have more and more people reaching out to you for these opportunities. Feel free to say no as well to opportunities that come your way. I've been presented with some opportunities here in the last few months that I have said no to because it doesn't fit with me as a person, it doesn't fit with my brand, it doesn't fit with my style, and that's totally okay. That is something that you will have to learn how to do over time. You want to be working with the people that you want to work with. That also includes the people that you take photos for. The more and more that you practice these methods, going out and doing photos for your friends and family, going to local events, offering your services for free or a super cheap price, the more and more repetition that you get, the more opportunities that will come to you. Now, you do not have to go into this full time. I am a full-time employee. I have a 9-to-5 job and I do all this on my weekends. And I still manage to grow an audience to the size that I have. And I have had plenty of paid opportunities in the past, and I have more paid opportunities coming forward. And this is honestly all because I've been documenting my process, I have been networking more, and I have been putting myself out there no matter what. The more that you do this and the more passionate you are and the more genuine you are about the work that you do, you'll find your audience and you'll find the people you want to work with. If you found this information helpful, please feel free to leave a like down below. And if you'd like to hear more information or more tips on automotive photography, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.